Lot's daughters, gripped by the fear of being forgotten in that barren wilderness, made a desperate decision. Their lineage could not be allowed to vanish. In the shadows of the cave, their plan was carried out. They did not think of judgment. They did not consider the consequences. They saw in their father the only way to preserve their descendants, and they acted without pausing to consider the destiny they were sealing. As days passed, their bodies began to show signs of what had taken place. 2 lives grew amid the silence. Time passed, and the children were born. The first was named Moab. From him would come a people who would settle the lands east of the Jordan. The second was called Ben-Ami. His descendants would become the nation of Ammon. The sons of Lot would grow, and their names would be etched into history. 2 peoples who would rise, build cities, raise armies. But whose origin would always trace back to a cave hidden in the mountains. The wind still blew between the rocks. The judgment on Sodom had ended, but Lot's story had not yet closed its final chapter. The wind swept ashes across the land where once cities stood. Sodom and Gomorrah were gone, but their story would never be erased. From the mountain, Lot and his daughters were the last to see the smoke fade on the horizon. The streets that once overflowed with life were now only a memory. No walls remained, no gates. The plain, once fertile, had become a wasteland without a future. But the story of those cities did not end with their fall. Generations would repeat their names. The nations born from Lot's descendants would remember their origin. And throughout time, the memory of that judgment would be engraved on the conscience of the peoples. Kings who ruled the earth would hear the account of Sodom and Gomorrah. Prophets would speak of them as symbols of warning. Cities that filled themselves with corruption would know what awaited if they followed the same path. Nothing was left standing in that valley, but their story endured through the centuries, a legacy of justice, a warning written in fire and ash. The wind kept blowing, scattering dust across the plain, but the echo of judgment was never silenced.